So you just want a simple, efficient, flexible, collision-based water material. Not a problem. Now this was one of the first assignments my boss gave me during one of my first official Unreal 5 studio jobs. But ever since then, I've learned some better ways to do it, so I'll show you how to put this material together right here. First, to set things up, right-click material, name it, open it, and on the left under shading model, change it to single layer water. And under refraction method, change it to pixel normal offset. From this point, let's go ahead and right-click on the material, turn it into an instance, and grab a basic shape like a cube that we want to put the water on, stretch it out however you want, and then add the material to the instance of the cube. And now we will be able to actually see what we are doing in real time when we adjust the material instance parameters. Alright, so let's get the basic stuff out the way first. Hold 1 and left-click, set it to 0 and plug it into base color and roughness. Then hold 1 again, set it to 0.5 and drag it into opacity. And hold S and left-click to create a parameter, and for now we'll just set it to 1.1, and this is actually what controls the underwater distortion, but we'll talk more about that later on. For now, we just right click and grab a single layer water material node, hold 3 and grab a vector 3 node, then duplicate it, right click and turn both into parameters. Call the first one depth color, and call the second one watercolor. From the depth color, drag out a multiply and then drag out a divide, set it to 1000, hold S and left click to create a parameter named underwater depth opacity. Set it to 0.25, and from this point you can actually copy and paste the same nodes for the watercolor, just change the name of this parameter to watercolor intensity. Set it to 5, and before we multiply we want to right click and create a hue shift node, hold 1 and left click to make a constant, set it to 0.5 and drag all them together like so. Finally, before we leave this, hold S and left click to make a parameter called underwater shadow strength, plug it in. Now you can see we will start to have some control over the depth color, the watercolor, the opacity, the color intensity, and the underwater shadow. And of course, it still doesn't look quite like water, but just stay with me, I promise we'll get there. Now the next part, we are essentially aiming to optimize by faking the collision with nothing but math, so here's how you do that. You right click and get an absolute world position excluding material offsets. Add a distance nearest to surface, subtract, divide, power, saturate, 1 minus x, and before we go further, hold S and left click to make 3 parameters called collision offset, collision wave range, collision wave blur, and before we try it, hold S and left click to create 2 parameters named collision wave speed and collision wave amount. Then grab a time node, drag out a divide, drag out an add, drag out a multiply, drag out a sine, drag out another multiply, hold 3 and left click to create a color node, set it to 0, 0, 1, then drag that into alert node, set it to 0.5, and then drag all of that into normal. Save and apply, and now I will explain how this works. Alright, take a look. When an object gets close to our water, you can see that it starts to react with ripples that are in the shape of the object. Pretty cool, right? And best of all, this is just math, so it's really light on the game, and how it works is the absolute position node basically detects when an object is close to the material. Now to control it, the starting area upon collision can be increased or decreased with an offset, how far you want the waves to go can be adjusted with the range, and blur affects how sharp the contrast is between the waves. Wave speed obviously affects how fast the waves get sent out. The lower the number, the faster the speed. The wave amount determines the number of ripples that happen at any one time, and really as far as collision goes, this is kind of it. You can make it more complicated if you want by adding direction and stuff, but for 95% of the times for most of the projects I've worked on, this is really all I've ever needed. Okay, now that we have the hard part, let's go ahead and make the actual water. First, grab a world position node, then from the XY, drag out a multiply, into another multiply, into an add, into a texture sample. Now we want to set this texture sample to water. Unreal does come with some default water, but honestly I think the best free water texture really comes from Ben Clowder. I'll give you a link to his channel below, so definitely drop by his channel to pick it up. Once you've set that, hold 2 and left click to create a vector 2, set x to 0.00025 and y to 0.00015. Then hold S and left click to create a new parameter called water scale close, set the default value to 1, then right click and add a time node, drag out a multiply, drag out another multiply, connect it to the add, and then hold 2 to left click and create another vector 2, this time set to 0.0075 and 0.01. Then hold S and left click again to make another parameter called water speed close and set it to 1. And obviously we'll want to combine this with our collisions upstairs, so to do that we'll just need to blend angle corrected normals and put them together like so, and then drag that final result back into normal. And just so we have a little bit more control over our normals, we can right click and grab a flattened normal node, hold S and make a parameter for normal intensity. Set it to 0.252, then drag a 1- node, plug it in, and check it out. This is 80% of the entire material, really. From here we can already start to adjust things like the scale of the water, the speed of the water, and the intensity of the water normal reflections. You'll also start to notice that the distortion kind of makes a lot more sense now. Now, this Vector 2 controls the base scale of the water material. If you're doing something like a river, you may want to stretch these numbers a bit. And the same thing for this Vector 2. This is your water's base speed in the X and Y direction. Again, if you're doing moving water like a river or a waterfall in one direction, you may want to set these so that they're moving in that direction. But for stationary water, I have found these settings tend to work pretty great in most of the situations you need, but obviously feel free to adjust them however you want. Now, the hard part is basically done, but there's a few things that we can do to make this better. For example, if we just copy and paste the entire part here and make these numbers negative and combine the normals from the first step to the new one with the blend mode, now you will see we get two sets of water textures moving. The first one that just does what we said, and now is the second one going in the opposite direction. And now it's really starting to look like water, which is great. But a common problem is, while this looks okay up close, it looks a bit stale farther away. The simplest fix for that is to duplicate the entire block again, paste it, rename these parameters from close to far, and let's just change the scale to 0.252. Then drag the blend node into a lerp node like this, then drag the blends from the top into A. And then from alpha, we right click and grab a pixel depth node, subtract, divide, saturate, and then hold S to create two parameters named close water border, set it to 2000, and close far water blend, and set that to 2500. Then drag that into the bottom of the lerp. And what this does is basically, now we have two sets of water. One which is the normal one that you see up close, and then a far one which is scaled very large at 0.15. And based on the distance from the camera, everything beyond a range of 2000, we want to use the far range large scale water. Anything closer than that, we want to use the close range small scale water. This water blend parameter determines how the two different waters blend together. If we set it to 0, the border will be super sharp. If we increase it though, the border starts to become more blurry. And you're done, really. That is how you make simple, efficient, interactive water without any plugins or particles or post-processing tricks. And the cool thing about this material is it's very light and it's very self-contained. You can drag it onto any plane, any box, hell, you can even apply it to random objects, and it will behave the exact same way. Also, if you, for any reason, you just don't feel like following the tutorial, or you just don't trust yourself to do this correctly, you can always find this asset on my Unreal Market shop, or if you're a $5 patron and above, you can just grab it for free on Patreon. Even if you are not a patron, they've actually added an option so that you can just buy it directly from me without a subscription for 20 bucks. But again, if you just follow the tutorial, you will get the same results for free. The paid versions are really just for those who want to save time or maybe just want to support the channel. But regardless, I hope that helped, and as always, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you around.